I say as now I've streamed us all. So, hello everybody. Welcome to Quill and Sword. I just told them it was time, and then it was time because, yeah, I'm a jerk like that. I'm Stephen Partridge. I am the DM. It is my business to be the jerk. That's my whole job description. To be a jerk and kill everybody, right? That's the whole point of it. With that being said, we don't just love our crit fails, crit successes, and whatnot. We love Syrinscape. We've been using it for music and whatnot. It's a good time. I'm going to roll my D4 as we do to give a one-sentence recap per person. Introduce yourself, your character, all that business. It's been a month since we've been on. We had a bunch of real-life stuff going on.
Damn real life.
Guess who it landed on? MARISA.
Oh, I was ready to go last because I remember what happened at the end of the last game. And I tried to watch a little bit of the recap today, but then I got distracted. So I do remember at one point we realized that there were some gargoyle-esque sort of situations, and we pushed them off buildings and such.
Mm-hmm.
That was my one sentence, and I apologize.
Okay.
Somebody else is going to have to put it in context.
So who are you throwing it to?
I'm going to throw it to Robin.
Oh, geez. Okay. I do remember that we got back to the town and we started finding trolls that were in their stone forms and pushing them off of buildings and stuff. That was a sentence.
As one
and
does.
SENITA.
Okay, so after we all had our turn of breaking property and not getting charged for destruction, we is someone's phone ringing, or is that my house?
I heard it. It's not here,
it's
though.
Not mine.
All right, I'm going crazy.
It's okay. Your house is haunted. It's fine.
Okay, so did we go back to the Queen to discuss, or did we go back to the town to discuss? We all gathered back together to make decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of.
Rare, right, Rare?
You went to the tavern. You went to the pumpkin carriage. I don't know why that's the one thing, the one name I've made that stuck, but the pumpkin carriage. So that is where you guys currently are. It's where everybody's kind of holed up at the moment during this catastrophe that happened like a day or 2 days ago now.
Yeah. So in addition to that, is it Starlight? Is that your owl?
Stardust.
Stardust. I knew it was Star something. Masquerade had used Stardust to sort of scope out the cave where the trolls had come from, and it's real bad. It's just a real bad time in there. From what could be gleaned, we did gather back together. I was the only one who's had a conversation with the Queen right now. Mm-hmm. The conversation that she had with me, her recommendation was for us to go and find this order. I forget what it's called. It's been a month.
Oh, the Jade Lotus.
Yep.
Oh, somebody remembers. To go and find them because they might have the power to help. Except, like, the journey, we're looking at months, if not a year, to get there and come back by standard means. So that's the last thing that I remember happening. That was information that I have not had the opportunity to share with the group as yet.
Yep. So with that being said, we're going to dive into the intro. So roll it.
It is a Ouija board.
And that's where we open up and we're back. Yes, it's a Ouija board. Because of course it is.
Right.
So I hope everybody has Syrinscape open. If you haven't,
Yep.
well, I already gave you the cue. So tough nuggets.
Mine isn't working. I didn't hear anything.
Oh no. Well, that's because I haven't started it yet.
Oh, okay.
I thought you said it gives you the cue. Oh,
There we
wait.
go.
Yeah,
Now
okay.
you're hearing it?
Yes.
Okay. So, as we open up, we have everyone is currently at the pumpkin carriage. It is dusk at this point. The sun is starting to set. Patrons are filing in for dinner, and all of the refugees have conspicuously kind of gone to their rooms, as it seems that Jacquard has been having them do, so that way they don't draw excess attention should the wrong person come in. So, as far as he's concerned, all of his rooms are just occupied right now. So you see that there is that familiar face of the woman who plays the lute, and is perpetually in some state of drunkenness, is putting on a performance, and she's like surprisingly good. Like, she's just like diddling out this little like very calming sort of ambient music. And Wisp, you would recognize that weirdly she sounds as good as most people think they sound when they're drunk. So the fact she sounds this way when she is drunk is like, you know, it just registers. So speaking of Wisp, we'll start with you. What is Wisp doing at present? The sun is setting.
At present, Wisp is located near the stage and is just taking in the performance.
Okay. What about Nim?
So are all the kids are still there, right? Or have they been sent off?
They're in their rooms right now because Jacquard has kind of advised that everyone sort of stay in their rooms during high traffic times, so that if somebody were to come in that might be a wrong person without anybody really knowing it, they won't catch on that this is sort of like a hideaway for the queen whose palace exploded and things like that.
Okay, yeah. So Nim is probably just sitting down, collecting her energy, having perhaps a cup of tea and enjoying a bit of the show, getting ready for bed, and will probably be going upstairs to check on the children very soon to make sure that they're not goofing off or having too much sugar before bedtime.
Okay. What about Anu?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No,
I don't know why I shouldn't have picked on you while you were busy.
My eyeballs itchy. I'm trancing, I guess.
Okay, you're trancing. Where are you doing this?
I'm up on a loft.
Okay. All right. Are you looking for anything in particular in your dreams, or are you just seeing where it takes you?
Just seeing where it takes me.
Okay. So you find yourself strolling through a forest in this memory. You feel shorter than you have in other dreams. You may be a child here, but you feel sensations in this forest that you've never felt yourself in this life. And it's new and it's vibrant. It's like the world itself has a heartbeat. And you feel it. And you know that with a thought, you could attune to it, syncing your heartbeat with the rest of the world, calling to nature with your mind, with your feelings, with your being. And it would answer you and do what you want. You've got an animal here or there that just sort of comes a little closer than they would for most. And occasionally you feel this prick at the back of your mind, like this spot, oh, right here where I just stepped, where magic seeps just a little more into the forest from the wild, almost like a sixth sense for you. But it's not chilling, it's not cold, it's comforting. It's safe. It's home. And in almost this deeper sense that the you that you're dreaming, but it doesn't have words for, but you yourself know, it's almost as though you feel just a little more at one with nature in each of these spots. Like you're a part of something bigger than just yourself. And while that's utterly frightening sometimes, right now, it's just nice. Nice to know that in the grand scheme, at least right now, you matter only in so much as a little boy wandering through the woods. With him, the animals, and his magic. And that's what you get for your dream. For once, no horrors, no dangers, just nice. What about Masquerade?
Well, I am dressed down in commoner's clothes. I have found a defensive position in, like, the main hall of the tavern. I've got a big stein in my hand that doesn't have anything but water in it, but no one knows that but me. And I am feigning drunkenness in the guise of a commoner fellow and just sort of watching what's going on and in more or less, guarding over people mode.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead and roll deception for me. And since you're trying to pass yourself off as another person, you already know that you have abilities that apply there.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So, you're sitting there with your ale in hand and whatnot, and this fellow walks up. He's really sort of like just small in general, like small stature, small build, wiry sort of frame, but he's got like just this perfectly pristine mustache and a hooked nose. And he comes over to you and just sort of like edges toward your table, and he's got a stein in hand, and he just sort of like nods to the chair, wondering if you'll let him sit, because there aren't any places to sit at present. It's a little busy.
I gesture. I'm like, oh, please.
Thank you. So, what's your story here? I don't see you here very often, and I frequent this place often.
I mean, who is where they're supposed to be right now? Do you know what's going on out there?
No, it's insane. It's like the world has lost its mind. The palace, and what is that ring in the sky? Why won't the guards let us get close to it? What are they hiding?
I gotta imagine it's probably something real dangerous.
Oh, I'm sure. Right now, the Oxyon Collective is currently running things, but I wonder for how long. Do you think Her Majesty survived? What about the new successor?
You know what? They're tougher than they look.
You know this?
I mean, think about that court. You gotta be pretty tough to survive up there. I'm from the Silk District. So we get in and out a little bit.
Oh, so
I've seen some of the Vipers.
Aha. I see. You haven't had to deal with Lucienne at all, have you? I hear she's terrible.
Huh. Yeah, that is the rumor. Fortunately for me, I've never had to confirm it personally.
Oh, well, you are lucky indeed then. I have not had experience, but my cousin's friend says that she's atrocious.
Your cousin's friend, is it?
My cousin's friend. Yes, I have distant connections to the palace. Though I don't partake. I could have sway if I wanted to.
And what would you do with it if you decided to reach out and grasp that?
I don't know, to be honest. Maybe I would try to get better food into the market district. It seems like everyone that comes in either charges out the nose because of bandits on the roads, or else the food is just Not what it could be if we had the proper farmlands around here.
Just start like fidget spinning a coin on the table, and I'm like, it seems to me like we should get a better patrol running the roads in that case.
Indeed. So I'm not sure that will happen anytime soon with the palace in shambles.
Oh no, everything's absolute chaos right now. We can't take care of ourselves inside the city. What are we going to do outside of it?
Exactly. Do you know there are rumors that monsters are starting to appear in small places?
No kidding.
Yes. I've heard that some of them are as big as a house. Never
Well, you hold your family close in that case.
Yes, I hope I pray and never see one. But
Well, I mean, monsters or not, there's a limit to how far into civilization they'll go. Not when there's easier pickings out there.
yes, I hope. But speaking of pickings, he sort of nods toward the table where Nim is sitting and he winks and he's like, "Do you think I have a chance?"
Are you kidding? She's way out of your league.
Really?
Like, leans back in seat, boots on table.
Make a persuasion roll.
10.
10? Okay, I'm gonna have to roll against that. He sort of looks at you, eyes you, and he's like, I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? And he kind of raises his stein and then gets up and walks toward Nim.
I'm staying right in my seat where I am and just watching this like a hawk.
And he slides his drink onto your table, Nim. And he leans towards you and he's like, well, hello. I haven't seen you around these parts before.
Well, hello yourself, and I haven't seen you either, but I'm just here having a cup of tea, and how's your evening going?
Very well. Your accent suggests that you are from the southern portion of the country.
Well, yes, that's correct. Is that correct, Stephen?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was, but it's been a minute since we started. I apologize.
You're good.
Well, yes, originally.
I see. Well, if a southerner like you would be open to seeing the city with a northerner like me, I would be more than happy to show you around. I have it in good. I was just talking to that gentleman over there. My cousin's friend is in good
doing
with
this.
my cousin's
making
friend is in
faces.
good with the royal court.
Your cousin's friend, you said?
Yes, indeed.
And who exactly is your cousin's friend?
Well, I mean, I don't know their name personally, but my cousin is Lawrence, so Lawrence's friend.
Well, you know what? Forgive me. What is your name, sir?
Oh, my name? My name is... And it kind of like catches the corner of your eye because he has a good enough passive perception. And he's like, He's like, I'm Theopold.
Oh, Leopold. Well, that's great. I'm Nim, and I just do not tolerate fibbers at all, sir. So when you say your cousin's friend, I'm very concerned that perhaps this is a bit of an untruth. And I wouldn't want to have to put you in timeout because you are a grown adult, but I am not above it.
My name is Theopold, and I am not a fibber. I simply do not know Lawrence's friend very well, that's all. But that being said, I assure you, he has had run-ins with Lady Lucienne herself. I couldn't say if she is fond of them or not, but definitely a connection there.
Oh, a connection. Okay. Well, we'll just leave it at that, I suppose. Now, I'm just concerned because it seems that you are inviting me out into all of this disarray that we seem to have here. It doesn't seem that it would be very safe, but perhaps the reason you feel safe is because you are on the wrong side of the law and you are happy to be out and about in that mess and chaos. Now, is that correct? Am I overstepping my bounds here, sir?
Oh, well, in fact, the reason that I would be feeling safe to take you anywhere else because I could keep you safe. Because I may be very short of stature, but I do know my way around the old fisticuffs, if you would.
Oh, around the fisticuffs,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
These are made of iron, don't you know?
Oh, so you often bring ladies around the fisticuffs. Is that what you do then?
No. I don't know. Do you like that sort of thing?
Oh, sir. Oh, dear. Okay. Well, I can see. Honestly, I'm going to be respectful of your time and your energy and let you know up front that I am not interested. But I also want to thank you because I do have somewhere around approximately 400 children. And I need you to know that I'm going to take this into account when I am speaking specifically with certain young men in my care because I think that there is some things I can learn and perhaps some manners and we just can't let them go out into the world acting like they weren't raised right because then we get this. Okay, but thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic evening, and you know what? Your next drink is on me, but please do not speak to me for the rest of the night. Thank you.
Oh, okay. And he just sort of like trudges away, like told off.
I'm gonna move from my seat to the one across from Nim, and then there's a beat of quiet, looking at the table, and then I look up with that absolutely shit-eating grin and go, "So are you into that kind of thing?"
Fisticuffs. So tough.
And Wisp, if you would like, you could have seen all of this transpire. You and Anu both.
Yes, please.
Because Anu, you're aware of your surroundings even when you're trancing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as the night dwindles on into darkness, the patrons sort of shuffle out. A new crowd comes in that's the night drinkers, and they're going to stick around for a while. But slowly people shuffle away. And when is everybody going to do things at night? You going to bed? You trying to go somewhere or do something, or what are y'all doing? You haven't officially talked about, Wisp, your conversation to the Queen or anyone else your plans from here.
I know.
I think we should all gather together before we go our separate ways.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Okay, so are we gathering at a table?
Yes.
Okay. So y'all got your table, the one that Masquerade in Guise was keeping earlier.
I have changed back into my regular clothes at this point.
I have
And my
two
regular
steins.
face.
So, how are we all feeling?
No worse for the wear, I suppose. Just a little concerned. What should we do? What's our next move?
Well, I actually had a conversation with the Queen, and she had a suggestion. Given I told her sort of what Stardust found in that cave. And her very strong recommendation was that we go and try and find the Order of the Jade Lotus, because she believes that what they can do or what they know would be the best shot we'd have of dealing with this.
And do we mean to get to this immediately?
Well, that's kind of the hitch, because to get to where she says they are, unless they have some kind of hidden spot that she doesn't know about that's closer, we're looking at months of travel time.
I am going to say something that is going to sound harsh, and I do not mean it to be. Yes is a valid response to this question, and I am not going to judge anybody for saying so. But do we leave those people that they already have for dead in hope of saving all the others?
Yes.
Honestly, I don't think that that's a call that I would have been comfortable making on my own, but I am glad to follow your lead on this if that is what you think is best.
There are no good options.
No, there aren't.
But losing time and possibly much, much more to try and save people, that the odds of them even still being alive at this point, much less when we get to them, it's a misuse of time and it's a misuse of resources, and we have very little of both.
Anu, Nim.
I agree. I mean, we could try to go in there. Would we even survive ourselves?
Okay. And Mask looks to Nim.
I think we have to, right? I mean, what if we can do something that could have a good effect in a big way, even though it hurts some, we have to, right? If it saves more.
I think you're right. I think we do. But that's something that we all had to be unanimous on, and there couldn't be a question about that. So, all right. Then we go. We save as many of them as we can. It's really all we can do.
Yeah.
Is there a way we could at least get them to not capture as many more before we go?
Give them their best chance?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the best we can do is on our way out is just anyone who looks like they have the ability to fight or who has any kind of authority, just tell them what's coming. We don't have time to stay and help them prepare, but we can make sure as many people know as possible to give the best chance of the ones who can do something that they do it. Because all we can do is make sure as many people know, because we can't stay and enforce it. We can't stay and make sure something happens.
No, that isn't our job, but I know whose job it is. At this point, that's the Queen and that's Angelique.
Do you want to talk to them?
It's probably for the best.
Okay.
Okay, so
well, actually, hold on,
go
Stephen.
ahead.
So, do we want to load up and head out in the morning?
Sounds like a plan to me.
If it's all the same to everybody, I'm actually just gonna go to my room for the night. This is a lot, and I just need to process.
Absolutely.
Get what rest you can.
Okay. And I will finish one of my 2 steins and leave that at the bar, and I'm taking the other one up to my room.
Valid.
I'm going to follow shortly after, but I'm going to stop at the bar, get another cup of chamomile tea, and I want to go upstairs and read a story to Giselle.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So you go upstairs and you see that Giselle has all of the abdicated kids in her room.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like trying to explain to them why the toys that she has acquired somehow are fun. Like there's a ball and a cup game, and this kid is like weirdly good at just making it happen every time. And, you know, she's cheering and excited, and as Giselle cheers for them, the kid just kind of stares blankly. It's like, can she do it too? And then Giselle's like, well, you know what? Maybe it's funner if you do it like this. And then she starts doing it really badly and gets frustrated pretty quickly. And it's like there's something that's just not quite clicking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see you got some toys there, Giselle. Where did those come from? Or do I want to know?
Mr. Jacquard got them for us.
Oh, but that was very nice of him. Are you showing all your friends how to play?
I am. They're very good at it. And they don't have fun when they're good at it, I guess. So I'm trying to teach them to be bad at it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting approach, and I appreciate it. That's a very creative problem-solving skill. You know, and it could just be that maybe some people just don't have fun when they play those games, and that's okay. Maybe there's other things that they like, too.
Maybe. I need to find it. Maybe fire.
No, we're absolutely not going to do that. I don't think we should do that inside, remember? Because that might make Mr. Jacquard a little bit angry, and he might take away the toys.
Oh, yeah. He did say that if there was a fire, we wouldn't get them.
Yeah, so no fires. Remember, we only do that under safe circumstances when we absolutely need to, or when Nim is using you as a weapon. But anyway, how about a story? Are we ready for a story time?
Yes. We love story times, right? And everyone just kind of stares. She's like, right. We all love stories.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's all gather around because I am ready to tell you a story. She takes a big sip of her tea.
Do you have a story that you want to tell?
I can start one and we can see where it goes.
Okay.
Well, once in a kingdom far, far away, there was a very beautiful queen who took care of all the children in the kingdom. But there was one child who liked to create some mischief. And now, you know, children do create mischief quite often, but this one child maybe created a little too much mischief. And one day, the beautiful queen said, I'm sorry, but you have to leave this land until you can learn to not be so much trouble. And the child said, well, that's fine. I'll go off on my own and I'll bring all of my friends. And so this one child went off with 5 of her friends, and they wandered through the forest for 3 days and 3 whole nights, and they never slept, and they never brushed their teeth or washed their hands or did anything they were supposed to do until they came to a beautiful cottage in the middle of the woods that they'd never seen before. And it was covered with beautiful flowers, and there were some stained glass windows, and there was a white picket fence around it, and there were bunnies in the garden, and it looked very, very pretty. But that one child, that little girl who liked to cause mischief, you know what she said?
Yay!
Well, she said yay, but then do you know what she did?
What?
She lit the cottage on fire. And she realized that she made a grave mistake, and she never did anything bad again. And she and all of her friends went back to the kingdom, and they did exactly as they were told until they became adults, and they lived happily ever after.
Oh. And you see Giselle just kind of like taking it in and like thinking and like kind of talking to herself as she's like moving her hands, like she's putting math together. And this abdicated kid kind of just looks up at you and he's like, I used to be able to touch fire.
Oh, do you remember that?
Yes. I don't remember what it felt like. But I remember it.
Do you think maybe, have you always remembered, or is this memory new?
No, I've always remembered. I just can't remember the feelings.
Do you remember how you touched fire in the old times? Can you make it happen?
And he holds out his hand and... No. It's all
Do you
right.
want...
Sometimes things change.
Yeah. That's true. Well, we are going to work very hard to make sure that this doesn't happen again, though. I'm sorry that you can't do it anymore.
They said it was for the best.
Well, I think it's important that nobody gets to tell you what's for the best when it comes to what you can do and who you are as a person and your body. That's for you and you alone to decide. And I'm sorry that they made that choice for you.
You're not a mage, are you?
No.
Mages don't get choices.
Well, that's not right.
We never did. But now I do, because I'm not one anymore.
Oh, well, that's a good way to look at it. Are there choices you want to make now?
No, I don't have any choices I want anymore. I don't remember what it's like to want something. I just know it used to be. It's like a dream.
Well, that's helpful. Thank you for telling me about that.
You're welcome. Can you do it? And he holds up the ball in the cup.
Well, I can certainly try. Do I need to make an ability check?
Sure, make a dex check.
Oh, you would ask me to do something that I'm not good at. Natural 20.
You do it, and it lands right away. And Giselle's just like, ah! and then
I'm gonna
she
be very
like
mad if that's my only nat 20 of the game.
reaches up and takes the thing and keeps trying and trying. And she rolled a nat 20, so she gets it.
I think this game is lucky.
She's like, I did it!
Yeah, you did, and then I high five.
She gives you a high five back. So,
Well, do you think it's time for everybody to go to bed?
Yeah. I have to get up early to help Mr. Jacquard with breakfast. He lets me light the stove.
You are such a good helper, Giselle. I'm so glad that you have that special job.
Yeah, I like it. But he said he'll know if I burn or singe any of the toys because they're all made of wood.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's
so
a
is the
smart guy.
tavern.
Yeah. We got to be careful.
Yeah, that's what he said. But he's nice, and I like him.
He's good. He's nice. I like him too. He's very helpful.
He is. He told me that it would be okay if I stayed with him while you and your friends go do important jobs.
Is that okay with you?
I miss Mr. Ben, and I miss my mom, but I don't know what happened to them.
We don't know 100% for sure either. But we want to find out, and that's part of why we're going to go where we're going.
Okay. Well, if you see Mr. Ben, give him a big hug for me.
Absolutely. 2 hugs.
Okay. And then she kind of like starts corralling the other kids and teaching them how to set up their here, let me adjust the music volume. That should be better. She starts corralling the other kids and getting them ready to go to bed. So she's like helping them with like their night routine, brushing their teeth, changing into night shirts, all that. And like you hear her explaining the reasons for why these things are important. So she does that. Masquerade, who are you going to go speak with?
Well, if it's one or the other, then I'm going to speak with the queen first, because this is technically still her actual job, and then Angelique will be a more personal conversation.
Okay.
But as far as the queen is concerned, I'm just going to, like tell her what we talked about. It's basically just recapping information, so we can skip that if you want.
Okay, all right. And she will just sort of like gasp and, clutching her pearls, for lack of a better phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw all of this?
Yes.
I see. Wisp had communicated much of it to me, but hearing it now, it's so much.
It is. But it's just as important that we make sure that this doesn't spread.
Of course. I have sent messages to make sure that the guards are patrolling the lower cities more. I don't know what good it will do with all of the chaos, but I'm sure that it will do something, because my word carries in the city even still. And they did tell me that you had dealt with the creatures that were taking these people. So hopefully that will slow the progress there for a time at least. We can keep an eye out for more of these grotesque gargoyles in our own city.
Since you know what to look like when they're at their most vulnerable.
Exactly.
Okay. If there's anything that you and Angelique can do to get them to prepare, I would say that would probably be a good course of action.
I see. Very well. We will do this.
And we'll go as quickly as we can and be back as swiftly as we can as well.
I have a gift for you. All of you, actually. Here. And she goes over to this nightstand. It's very humble. It's got cracks in it and everything. She opens the top drawer and she pulls out 2 boxes, one much smaller than the other, both of them extremely ornate. My spies were able to salvage these from the wreckage.
I will take them very carefully, respectfully, and take a peek.
So the larger box is red with gold trimming, and it contains this lovely velvet. It's very soft and plushy. This velvet interior that houses 3 bracelets. There are only 3 here, unfortunately. But they allow for communication between them at will.
And that is extremely useful indeed.
And as part of this gift, she lifts the plush velvet to reveal a ring. And this ring as well, it has been used by me, worn during every ball. It is a ring of mind shielding. It can protect from charms and whatnot.
And I have to imagine it would also block out the bracelet.
Yes. But, and then she reveals the other box is a stone, and it looks like a face. It looks like a masquerade mask of all things. And the masquerade mask carved into this stone matches another that she holds, that when you put them together, they actually form a whole. This is mine, and this is a sending stone. What's special about this one is that it can communicate with this other half as a normal sending stone, but this sending stone is attuned to the bracelets as well. So, you will be able to hear everything on the bracelets, but you will only be able to send to them as if you were a sending stone.
Okay.
But you can send to all at once, or just one.
That is a significantly better position than we were in moments ago. Thank you very much, Your Majesty.
If nothing else, hopefully it helps you to remain in contact should you find yourself separated.
I wish that didn't happen as often as it did.
And, I have one more thing. And she gets another box, and this one is green, but otherwise looks identical to the red one. These were salvaged, but they are for all of you individually. So, when your friends are ready, I would love to meet with all of you together.
I'll let them know, and we'll be here in the morning.
All right. And, Masquerade,
Yes.
thank you. It was already enough that Angelique spoke higher of you than any other human, or otherwise, that she has ever known. But to see it for myself is another experience entirely.
Thank you, Your Majesty. And I do the deep bow, you know, the one where it's like I am endeavoring for my nose to brush the floor bow, the really theatrical one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She catches your chin and lifts your head. You bow to no one in my cult. None of you do. Not you, nor your friend of humble origins, nor your two non-human friends. None of you bow to anyone in my cult.
Okay. And like it's just that breathless word, right? Like Mask has no idea what to say to that. They have been taken well and truly off guard.
In the morning, then.
Yes. In the morning, then.
Good night.
Sleep well.
And she turns and begins her nightly routine.
I'm gonna...
Oh, sorry.
Notes. I'm just making a note that I'm leaving notes for everybody else to meet up here in the morning.
Okay. Anu, you're waking up from your trance, and it was really pleasant. It was nice. And it's now broaching on midnight. And you are here, and you're in the rafters. What are you choosing to do?
What's going on in the tavern right now?
It is, the last few people are kind of shuffling out at this point, so it's just Jacquard cleaning up, and then you see, Masquerade, you can see on that one balcony, has just exited the Queen's room. Nim has entered the room with the children a while ago, and I think Wisp retired to their own chamber as well.
Guess if everyone's leaving, then I'll go to bed too.
You already tranced, so you're good for the whole... You got your long rest. And your people are nocturnal, so you're, like, really good.
All right, let me see. Did we ever discuss if there was a way to figure out if there was a way to help the kids?
You found that there was not, at least not at present.
Right. Okay.
You know, abdication is a permanent thing.
What is there to do at night?
I mean, anything that you can imagine in a fantasy big city, especially one in chaos and disarray.
Maybe I'll patrol the streets and see if there's anything I could help fix while everyone's sleeping, so when they wake up it's not so bad in the morning.
Okay. All right, so you start walking the streets, and as you're walking the streets, I'm going to make a happenstance roll. You hear a commotion up the way from an alley, and you see a guard walking towards that direction. He glances down the alleyway and then continues walking despite the fact the sounds continued.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay. Are you doing so stealthily?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and make a stealth roll for me.
Hopefully better. 16.
16. Okay. Let's see. Do they perceive you? So, as you're approaching stealthily, your foot catches in one of these slushy puddles. And for a split second, you'd swear that one of these shadows stopped for a moment. And then the sound of beating continues. Occasional grunts and like someone has been hurt. And you see a little bit of splatter of red just in the street lamp's purview. You look around to see 3, not super large, but not tiny either, humans beating up a dark elf man. Kicking him while he's on the ground. The blood is coming from his mouth as he coughs with each blow. You hear occasional, "That'll teach you to be in our neck of the woods."
I was gonna do this with an illusion, but I think I want to just kick their ass.
And then another one laughs and goes, "Ha! The woods! That's really where he belongs, isn't it? Why don't you go back to the woods where the rest of your people are?"
Alright. Where do I want to attack? Because obviously I don't want to kill these guys. I just want to beat them up.
Okay. You can pull a punch if you want to just knock them out.
Okay. You know what? I think. Is there a way that I could pull a Batman?
Back in just a minute.
Okay.
I could pull a Batman and like first take out one by jumping down onto top. Is there a way for me to get up there?
You can get on top of the building, either of the buildings that are nearby. It will require an athletics check or climbing speed if you have a climbing speed.
I don't think I have a climbing speed.
If you're not athletic, then probably not. Athletic is feet.
I have a +5 to athletics, but feet. I have acrobatics as
Yep. And yes, Carowin, the guards have a prejudice problem. It's part of the thing with the setting. The elves are struggling.
I won't even like jump attack them. I'll just kind of come back. I'll sneak up and knock them out.
Okay. So go ahead and make your attack roll then at advantage because you are stealthed and hidden from them right now.
This is unarmed. Advantages roll twice if you get low.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna take the 22.
No, advantages roll twice and take the high.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought you said disadvantage for a second.
No, 22.
22, you absolutely hit. This guy doesn't see you coming at all. So go ahead and what damage is your strength modifier?
It just says 3 because it's an unarmed strike.
Okay, so you deal 3 damage. So you sneak up and boom! And this guy, like, you feel his jaw crack, blood splatters against the wall, and a tooth falls out and just kind of, like, scatters down the way. And he's like, oh, who's that? One of you. We don't see many of you. Get out! And the others start rushing you. So it's initiative.
Okay.
They rolled an 11.
Oh shit! I'm gonna use one of my inspirations.
Okay.
There we go. I rolled a 12.
A 12. Okay. So just as the other two start rushing, you are ready. What are you doing?
I'm gonna. Whoever gets to me first, I'm flipping him over my shoulder.
Okay, you're flipping them over your shoulder. Awesome. So that's a prepared action. We'll call it an unarmed attack.
Okay.
So the first one comes to you, and he misses, because I am sure an 8 does not hit your armor class.
Oh, it does not.
So he goes wide as you duck, and now make your unarmed strike. And we'll say if you succeed at this, you also knock him prone.
18.
18, easy. So he takes 3 damage. You just duck, and you kind of heft him as you duck, and by the waist, and he just tumbles right over you onto his back, and you hear a crack as he hits the cobblestone pavement. And this dark elf, his eyes go wide. It's like, who are you? And so this guy is like coughing and sputtering. He's still able to fight, but he's hurting now too. And the other guy comes at you, and that's another 8. So yeah, that doesn't hit. So the other guy, whew, and you just dodge right out of the way again. And you are owning these guys right now. So the guy whose jaw you cracked is actually kind of stunned at the moment. He's like a little hesitant. So at this point, make an intimidation check.
Okay.
You have advantage here.
All right. 11.
11 versus their natural 1. So you see that they all sort of exchange glances. Let's get out of here! And they start booking it down the alley. And they drop the man's coin purse that they had taken. The man who was on his back kind of like coughs and sputters, and he like stumbles up and gives you a look, and he's like really mad. He's kind of huffing and puffing, and then he just like books it the other way. Thank you.
Sounds about right. I pick up the change purse and give it to him. Yeah. No problem. Trust me, it was my pleasure.
It's pretty light, actually. Like, they didn't even really steal that much from him. Thank you. Who are you?
Just your friendly neighborhood moon elf.
I see. I confess, I thought your people, like, I say your people, we're all one people, but I don't know. I've heard from moon elves that they're better than us because we live in the city, because we don't get visions. But it's refreshing to meet someone like you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And perhaps you shouldn't be Do you have any weapons on you?
No. No, I came up here. I was trying to go visit the apothecary. There's an apothecary here in town. She helps us people like us. And she does so by night because she would be attacked or harassed if she didn't help us at night. But I was coming to get some medicine for my wife. She's ailing in bed, has been for 3 days with a fever. This is all the money we have saved in the world, but it's just enough to pay for her medicine.
Let me go with you.
Very well. And he leads you through these streets, and as you're going, he explains that moon elves aren't allowed in this part of the town. They aren't allowed in this district. And to be in this district, especially after dark, is worthy of arrest or worse.
Oh, they could certainly try to arrest me.
And as you round a corner, he points to an old shop. It's got a dingy sign that's been like hung up with rope on one side and a chain on the other, like one of the chains broke. And there is a dim, barely flickering light from inside. He approaches through the alley, though, and takes a side door, raps a rhythm, and then the door opens halfway, and you hear this whispering voice. Do you have the payment? Here. And he hands over the 10 silver pieces, which you know only equals 1 gold. And then a bag of herbs and a little container, like a wooden bowl with some paste in it, is passed through the door. Make a history, insight, or investigation.
Do insight, because that's my highest. Oh, fucking bet. 27.
This medicine is worth more than this person is receiving in payment, as they're passing it through.
So they're getting the medicine for cheap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that that's a good thing, though, right?
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah.
Okay,
Like
alright.
the apothecary is giving the medicine for a much lower price than you would expect to see these medicines given for.
Okay.
And you hear the voice on the other side say, "You weren't followed, were you?" No. Thanks to my friend. And he gestures, and the door peeks out just a little more, and you see just a glimmer of a green eye. And then the voice whispers to the man, "And you're certain this is the last you have of your money?" And he's like, "Yes, the last coin's to our name." "Good." And then it creaks closed. And then he goes back to you. "Well, thank you very much, but I need to get going. Safe travels, my friend."
I should say that to you.
Indeed you should. Good night.
Night.
And he sort of skulks off, staying out of the light.
That's weird. Do I want to investigate the apothecary?
I don't know, do you?
Yeah, let's investigate the apothecary.
Okay, are you just going to a window, or are you actually trying to sneak through the door, or what are you trying to do?
No, I'll go through a window. They gave medicine for cheap. I'm not gonna
Okay.
break into their place.
Okay, so you go to a window, and you see this woman, this haggard woman, with like wrinkles and layers upon layers of this very humble garb. And as you're watching her, she's counting out the silver pieces. And you see that there's almost like a ripple in the air with each silver piece. And she starts waving her hands over it. And as she does, it's almost like a dream, as for a split second, you swear you saw the woman, and now you see a different woman. Similar in appearance, but she has longer, spindly arms and these talon-like nails. Her hair that was once pulled back into a neat bun is now strung around a little bit and messier. And her skin, which was once more of like a golden brown, has shifted to a sickly blue-green.
What is that?
Make an Arcana check.
22.
22. This is a hag.
She gonna eat the coins?
No, you see her doing something to them, waving her hands over them and muttering. And the air is rippling a little more, and you feel this wind around the outside of the building start picking up a little bit, blowing these blustery dead leaves and a little bit of the slush from the main road into the alleyway.
Is this something I should be worried about?
After a time, it stops. The coins look the same. And she puts them back in the pouch and then sets them delicately on a shelf with all sorts of odds and ends, not all entirely undisturbing. And then, as she goes to flick out the candlelight, she doesn't seem to notice you at all. And when the candle blows out, it's like you smell the smoke from outside. And as you turn to go, you see the woman standing immediately behind you.
Oh.
What do you want?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
That's a lie. Everyone wants something.
I mean,
What do
technically.
you want?
What do you have?
I have anything your heart desires. I can make your wildest dreams come true.
Ooh, I doubt that.
I mean, of course, there are limits to any magic, but for the right price.
Yeah, well, I'm about to go on an adventure, and the only other thing that I wish is that my people are free.
Your people are free. Who are your people?
The Moon Elves, currently taken over by some... What are they called again?
The Aslari.
Yeah, the Aslari.
Your people are taken over. And she pricks her long finger, which you now realize is as long as your forearm.
Oh my god.
And she's like hulking over you. She's like, despite her very crouched form, she's like good like 6-7 feet tall. And she pokes this long finger into the slush. And when she does, the slush starts warping and changing shape and sculpting images on the ground that show many of the images of your memory of what happened. People being cut down and brutalized during the invasion. You want these people free, yes?
Yeah.
And what will you pay for it?
What are you looking for?
A favor. Just one. Not now, but later. when I need something.
Mm. And this favor,
Yes.
would it negatively impact my friends?
It would not negatively impact your people. Or who are your friends?
The Motley crew.
The Motley crew.
Yeah. We're gonna save the world.
And you see she pricks another finger in a different patch of slush. And the slush itself rises and forms into Wisp. Then remolds and becomes Nim. Then Masquerade. These are your friends, yes?
Yes.
They won't be harmed.
Oh, they won't be harmed. That's not what I asked.
Then what do you want me to say?
That my actions are my actions. And if there's a consequence, I'll handle it.
So part of the negotiation, if I'm to understand, is that you bear the full consequence of your decision here and now.
Exactly.
Done.
Done.
Very well. Would you like to see? Or would you like to visit and look?
I like to visit and look.
All right. Come into my house. And she opens the door with a gesture. And in a split second, she's not behind you anymore, and that door is open.
Okay. I'm gonna go through.
Okay. So you go through, and as you do, as you step through the threshold, it's almost like stepping into a deep part of underwater. You feel this intense pressure all over you. And the woman is sitting by the fireplace, and the flames are an eerie green. Come over here, child.
I'm not that young.
In this lifetime, you are. And she gestures to the fireplace if you approach.
Yes.
All right. Now, we just walk through. And she walks into the fireplace, and it's almost like you hear this terrible screaming screech through all of your ear, like through the depths of your ears. At the same time, a guttural reverberation pounds at your chest. And she's consumed in green flames and then gone. And then you hear this voice kind of cackle in your head and says, "Come follow."
And for a penny and for a pound.
Okay. You step into the fire, and it's weird. It's like all of the pressure is gone, and then for a moment you feel like you're falling, and then the next moment your awareness is perched on the very top of that ruin. And you see the Azlari are lording over the citizens here. They've kept the elves from leaving, which you know they would have left long ago. But they have kept them here, living here and toiling and rebuilding this ruin. In fact, it's in better condition than you've ever seen it, but a lot of the plants are removed. A lot of the natural beauty that it's sort of taken over has been chopped away or is being chopped away. The Azlari are forcing these people to do this. And she just says, "You know what? I'll give you the honor." And she hands you a sprig of mistletoe. Point it at the first you want to see gone.
And where are they going?
Oh, you'll see.
It's fine.
The first person I'm taking care of is what's her name?
Jakira?
Yes.
Yeah. You see her actually walking through the town looking at everyone. All you need do. And you feel these long fingers curl around your torso. And she whispers in your ears so much you can feel her cold breath. Point and wish.
I wish for you to leave this place and never come back.
And when you point, you see Jakira stop. She holds her head. And then just as she's about to let out a wide-eyed scream, her jaw rips open and her head explodes.
Oh, that's not what I thought was
And then
going to
she's
happen.
She's not here anymore.
Hmm.
Go for another.
You know, that was a little bit disturbing. I thought they were just going to walk away.
Well, I'm granting your wish.
Mm-hmm.
Point. Choose. Feel what they made you feel. What they make them feel.
Oh, that's a good wish. I wish for them to feel what they feel.
And she takes a piece of the mistletoe and chews it. And then she takes the paste from her long tongue and she actually spreads it on the air. And when she does, you see this wave of energy in the shape of the paste screech through the ruin. The entire thing decimating all of the Aslari at once, cutting them. Some in the waist, some at their chest level, wherever they happen to be. As this energy just carves and completely obliterates only the Aslari. These elves are free now. Shall we go back?
Sure.
Very well. And she curls both hands around you, and as she does, you feel her start to squeeze into you a little bit. And for a moment, you swear she's going to crush you. And then just as you can't quite take a breath, release, and you take this bite of cold air. And you're back outside the apothecary shop.
And I knew it was going to be some shit. Oh, well.
And then you hear just in your voice, remember, you promised me a favor.
Yes, I will take you up to the hill and sing to you. Gotcha.
To seal our bond, a gift. And you gain the Eldritch Initiate feat.
What?
You get to pick an Eldritch Invocation, which you now just have. And we can go over that later off screen if you want.
Yeah.
And when you also feel this burning in your hand. And when you look, you see an eye in your palm. Just embedded there, like an actual eye.
Yeah.
You can blink it, you can control it.
That's gross.
And then you hear her say, and by the way, I'm watching.
Obviously.
And then you close your fist and it disappears.
For a second there, I really thought you were going to be stuck with that for the rest of the campaign.
You're right. I think I did a bad thing, but whatever.
Could be worse. Always could be worse. It's fine.
And yeah, you also realize that at this time, dawn is starting to break for you anew.
Uh-oh. I'ma book it.
More time has passed than you should have that felt like it did. But yeah, so you book it back to the pumpkin carriage. Wisp, what were you doing during the evening? You're the only one that hasn't told me.
So once everyone else is in bed and
Or gone.
I'm heading downstairs and heading out. I don't know is what's his face? Remind me
Jacquard?
of his name. Is he there?
He's there.
He's there. All right. I will stop at the bar and return the stein that I had taken up to my room.
Okay.
Nothing has been drunk out of it.
Okay. And he meets your eyes. And he says, "Be careful. You know they love you, right?"
I know. I love them too.
Be careful.
To whatever degree you can, don't tell them, please.
He kind of frowns and shakes his head, and he's like, "You know I can't do that. But I'll give you a head start."
I'll take it. Do you... I prefer not to have to steal one. Do you have a horse I could borrow?
In the back. The one with the brown spot on its nose. It's faster.
Thank you. Turn to go, turn back, and look at him one more time. I really mean that, too. Thank you.
I meant what I said too. Be careful.
I'll try. I will turn and I will go to where he indicated and find this horse.
Okay. You find it easily.
Excellent. On the horse and booking it as fast as this thing can go without overexerting it to the mountain and to the cave.
Okay. I need you to roll a stealth check
Alrighty.
against their passive perceptions.
Did you seriously just?
Yes, she did.
So stealth. So
Masquerade.
16.
What's your passive?
12.
What's your passive, Nim? Perception.
13.
And Anu, you're not there.
How are we missing a fawn on a horse?
So, Masquerade and Nim, just enough time passes for you to get your long rest. Dawn is just breaking. And you hear a fervent and frantic knock at your door.
Morning.
And you see Jacquard is standing there. You don't smell breakfast, even though you would by now normally. He looks, his
going on?
eyes are sunken and big purple bags under them. And he twists his mustache and you see the like tear stains on his eyes. "I'm so sorry.
What happened?
They left and I didn't stop them."
Who left?
The Fawn.
Where?
I don't know. I suspect wherever you came from.
I'm gonna have to let them know exactly how much freaking chosen one behavior this is. I go get him.
So, Wisp, you do have a about 4-hour head start on everyone.
Okay. Because I'm straight shot. I'm not delaying. I took what I could carry.
Okay. So, you wake up Nim, Masquerade. And Anu, you're going to get there right around the time that Masquerade and Nim just get ready.
Well, are we I suppose, that fawn, when I get my hands on him, that's just, I cannot even.
You're only angry because you care.
Yes, and I will be angry until I'm not. And I hope they're okay. This is not acceptable. We can take Steve in a cart, I guess. What else do we need? Anu, what do you think? Anu, do you know what? Have we told Anu? Did you tell Anu? Anu, where have you been?
Look, Wisp left. Without us, without telling us that they were going anywhere. What?
You're
You
muted.
muted?
You're muted.
Oh, my bad. I said it sounds about right.
Yeah, so we need to haul ass as soon as we figure out what direction we're going in. I, speaking of which, would like to attempt to track.
Okay, you can absolutely do that. Roll a survival check.
Cool. I am going to click the button. Ha! 19!
You spot, as you exit the building, there are hoof prints that are newer than all the others, and because it's still so early in the morning, no horses are out yet.
This
And they're
one, let's go.
in the slush. They're not fawn prints, they're horse hoof prints.
Yeah. They're not sneaky. That's my job. So we're not gonna get the Jade Lotus?
I guess not.
At least not today, I suppose.
That's fair.
So, are you guys getting horses to pursue?
Yes.
Okay. So, you guys are behind. Wisp. You get to the cave. First thing is you have to climb to the entrance.
Well, hold on. Let's back up before we go there. Because based off Stardust and what had laid out before, we know there's an entrance and an exit.
Yes.
Based off the information I had, and if it's not fair for me to know either way, that's fine. Which seemed closer to the main corrupted mana source?
The exit seemed closer to the source. However, you know that the exit also seemed only accessible by air.
Okay. Well, we'll go for entrance then.
So, go ahead and make an athletics check to climb, or else you'll have to go half your speed.
Alrighty. That's an 18.
18. Okay, you easily climb up. In fact, you're a fawn. You don't even have to climb. You hop where you can.
Cloven hooves, baby.
And you make it to the entrance rather effortlessly, actually. In fact, this whole thing should be easy for you. If it goes this way, at least.
You're
You walk
right.
into the cave. And when you do, you immediately see there's these yellow veins that pulse in the rock face, along the walls and in the ceiling, and even in the floor a little bit.
So, another question.
Mm-hmm.
Based off what I know about the trolls, now that it is dawn, do they turn to stone and go dormant just by the sun being up, or do they have to actually be in the sunlight? Are they going to be active because the sun's not physically getting in here?
Make an Arcana check.
That is a... What do I add? That's a 20. Dirty 20.
Okay, so, basically, you know that every one of the, Umber Horde has their own sort of Achilles heel, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And for the trolls, it is sunlight. So, while they are in sunlight, they are stone. But if they
Okay.
can stay underground, they can stay up. They can stay fluid and lucid.
All right.
You hear already, as you are doing all of this, you hear the umber horde just sort of like cackling and everything in the depths of the cave. You hear chittering and chattering and hooping. Even at a distance, it's unnerving.
It would be. Well, I'm gonna try and get as far as I can, like keeping a very close eye out on anything that might spot me. But before I start pulling out part of what I'm planning to do, I want to get as close or as deep into this as I can.
Okay. Make a stealth roll for me.
Yeah, I'm going to use an inspiration and re-roll that.
Okay.
That's better. That's a 17.
17. So as you creep through this cave, you cringe every time. There's just like this inherent cringe as your hoof clops on the rock face. But you keep it quiet. You come up to what look like... Are those goblins? Is that what goblins look like? They look like children's proportions, but they have this lumpy green skin, these beady red eyes, and these wide mouths that open half the skull. And you see them currently just like biting chunks out of corpses. Most of them rotting. The smell itself is nearly overwhelming. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Same. 12.
12. You get bile in your mouth, but you keep it. And you retch. It's a lot.
That would be the worst way to die. Caught because I threw up.
The goblins don't seem to notice you as you pass the little branch of their portion of the cave.
Okay.
And you continue on. You hear what sound like hoof prints coming towards you, clopping. And
As
you
in, like,
realize
coming down the passage in my direction?
You see what looks like the shadow of a horse with the headless torso of a humanoid carrying a lantern dangling from a chain on a long pole, swinging and swaying, casting this eerie yellow light. It's coming your way.
Okay. Is this light like a narrow beam, or is this like a general glow?
It's a general glow.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cast Greater Invisibility at this point.
Okay. So you cast Greater Invisibility, and you are gone.
All right. Because this thing is on a ticking clock, I am gonna pick up the pace.
Okay.
A bit, like not. Obviously, I'm still trying to be quite, because like I didn't see it in the spell description. It doesn't muffle sound that I make, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
So it grants you advantage though on your stealth.
Okay. I am gonna pick up the pace from what I was doing.
Okay. Make a stealth roll just straight on then, because you'd have disadvantage for moving quickly, but you have advantage as a result of your greater invisibility.
Okay.
So functionally, it's just a straight roll in stealth.
That's a 19.
They also got a 19. Meets beats. So,
God damn it.
As you round a corner, you see one of these creatures turns toward you. And at this point, you realize you got just a little too close, because these things don't have heads. This is a centaur whose head has been ripped off. It's a Dullahan. It has a rotting corpse for a body. It carries a long lantern on a pole. But you realize you caught within its blind sight. and it starts approaching towards you, and it begins casting a spell. Roll initiative.
I'm gonna take a inspiration and re-roll that. Jesus, that's not much better. So that is an 8.
8. Got a 13.
Of course he did.
So make a strength saving throw, and I'm going to give you a GM intrusion here, which gives you an inspiration, lets you give one to somebody else.
Okay.
Because you have disadvantage on this roll, because you have no idea what it's casting, because it has no head to tell you.
I'll give the extra inspiration to Masquerade for the record.
Okay.
So, and what am I rolling for?
Strength saving throw.
Strength saving. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. That's a 3.
Okay. You see that these plants that have just kind of been hanging off the side of the wall, but have this weird, warped, thorniness to their vines, and the leaves are curled unnaturally, and it's kind of gray in general with like pulsing yellow veins. They reach out as this thing casts Entangle in your area, and you find yourself wrapped in these vines as it's yanking you towards this wall. And the wall has yellow mana embedded within it. You know if you touch that, you get sent into the wild.
Okay. How rapidly is this stuff pulling me?
It's pulling you 5 feet per round. You are currently about 25 feet away, so you have 5 rounds to try to get free.
Okay.
It's your turn.
I'm thinking. I am... So, like, for the purposes of spell casting, are these vines on me, are they counting as creatures, or is this just, like, entrapment or whatever it is?
It's an entrapment. It's the Entangle spell.
Entangle spell.
Yeah.
So, is it just a strength saving throw to break out of it? Is that my only way out of this thing?
Yeah. It's basically a modified Entangle that can move you, so...
Okay.
But it's still a strength save to get out.
Okay. Well, I will try that for now. That's a 19.
19. Okay. You rip these vines away from you, and you are free.
All right. Booking it. Full sprint.
Okay, full
Don't
sprint.
even care at this point.
You hear what sounds like a trumpet. It's the weirdest thing, and you see that this creature has actually caused the sound from its hand. You see it has this open hole in its hand that the sound is coming from. It's like this that's just resounding through the cave. And it resounds so much that still a couple miles off, Anu, Masquerade, and Nim are hearing this trumpet in the distance. Sounds like a war horn. And, Wisp, you're booking it. So I need you to make either a survival check, or I'll let you use investigation.
Checking what's better for me there. All right. That's a 9.
9. Was that survival or investigation?
That was investigation.
You find that there are bits and pieces of torn clothing, shoes, the occasional rotting limb that you've been following, looking, trying to piece together where they could be keeping these prisoners, because that's your main goal. Unfortunately, you don't find it readily.
Back up. Were the prisoners kept around the mana thing?
They were kept in an outlet from the mana source.
Okay, because like the source is my goal. The prisoners, honestly,
okay.
This is a kamikaze. This isn't a rescue.
Okay, so you run in and you do manage to find the source.
Okay.
But only the source. So
that's what I'm here for.
You're overlooking it on a ledge right now.
How far away is it from me?
About 200 feet.
200. What is my best shot for getting down to it?
There are pathways that these things are using. But you see all of the creatures down here are on high alert and seem to be frantically looking and grabbing weapons. And you see that they have weapons, in fact, that they have forged. They're crude, they're barbed, they look like they hurt the wielder just as much as the person that they would be wielding it against. But these are corpses you're fighting too.
So... Hang on, give me a second. Let me check something. Illusory magic doesn't work on undead things, does it?
Right.
Shit. Okay. So... Whichever path down looks the least crowded.
Okay. All right.
Because if I drop down from here, the fall damage will kill me.
All right. You're just running through, trying to get there. In fact, there is a way that's clear right now.
Okay, taking it.
So you go down the pathway. So at your dash speed, what is your speed right now?
Hang on. My walking speed is 35 feet.
Okay, so you can move 70 feet per round.
Okay.
So you get yourself all the way to the base of the wall, but you're still about 180 feet away because that was like a zigzag path down.
Yeah.
And so at this point, you are now just on the same level. So now you can make a straight shot for it if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So you run for it.
I mean, my main goal at this point, I need to get within 60 feet of it.
Okay. And what is the duration on greater invisibility?
Oh, it's a minute, so that's probably
okay.
going
Yeah.
by
So
now.
that actually fades right as you get there. So all these creatures see you.
Of course they do. All right.
I'm going to give you the initiative. You're a dancer. You know how to maneuver through a crowd.
I am sacred flaming the monosaurs.
Okay. This, if you are trying to do what I think you're trying to do, which is purify it, it's going to be a complex test.
Yeah.
So I need you to start by rolling either religion or arcana.
Let's see. All right. 16.
16. Okay. So you sacred flame it, and you see that the flame actually hits it, and it starts to illuminate and pulse with this chromatic light that matches your sacred flame's fire, but then it dies out. That's a failure.
Okay.
So it is now their turn.
Of course it is.
And they are going to... for sake of simplicity, I'm going to make a check with a DC. And basically the DC threshold is the higher they roll, the more of them get to deal damage to you. And I'm just going to use the average damage, okay?
Okay.
Well, that's not a great start. That's a 7, which means none of them hit you, because they have to get above a 10 for any of them to hit you.
That's a fantastic start.
So you are weaving and dodging. In fact, I'm going to say that part of the reason you failed was because you were focused on dodging and weaving and trying to save time, get a rhythm for how this goes, because you're a dancer. That's how you work. You can figure out that rhythm and flow, and you get a good sense of it now. So I'm going to give you advantage on this next roll.
All right. Going to use an inspiration to roll that again.
Okay.
And if I have advantage on it, do I roll twice again or just one more time?
Just once.
Ah. That's a 12.
12. Okay. It's a failure. So you fire again, but with all these creatures...
Hang on, one more time. Can I use more inspirations at one after another if I've got them banked?
Sure. Sure. Because of the stakes in the situation, I'm absolutely going to say yes.
I'm going to use one more.
Okay.
18.
18 is a success.
So
So I'm going. So for reference, 18 is what you want to hit.
okay.
You need to hit 5 successes before you go down.
Okay.
All right. So that's your
So
stakes,
that's-
so that you're aware. I'm very transparent here.
Got it.
So that is a success. You have 1 success. Mark 1, and it is their turn. You fire this radiant beam, summoning it from nothing. And when you do, you really feel it this time. You've got a rhythm for the battle, you've got a rhythm for the magic, and you've got it all synchronized in your mind. And as it does, you see a chunk of this mana. It explodes, but instead of shards of rock coming off, instead it's shards of energy. It's almost like the yellow splashing away from it, and now you have this area that's pulsing with your chromatic glow.
Okay.
They're going to roll to attack you.
First thing.
Natural 1,
Ha!
which means I'm going to let you get a second attempt off with advantage because you had advantage this round.
Okay. So I get 2 attempts at it this
Yep.
time?
Yep.
Advantage on both?
Yep.
Okay. So wait, which I can add Arcana or Religion to it?
Yep. Either one.
All right, so that's an 18.
18 hits. That's a second success. So with your other arm, as these things just fumble over one another, they're just frantic because they see what you're doing. And you get the other side, and the same effect happens. You've got about 2/5 of it currently pulsing with this chromatic light.
Okay, here we go again.
All right.
Yeah, no, I need another second roll on the advantage. 23.
Okay, and once again, shing! There's your third success. Now it's their turn. Oh. They got a 19. Thankfully, it's not a 20. But that means you do take 23 damage.
Okay.
As you get speared by some of these spears, and arrows start firing from above, and you see that there are these humanoid bird creatures that are rotted and are currently firing bows and arrows at you from the sky now.
All right, just give me 1 second. Let me just check something. Okay,
So,
still going for it.
go for it.
Just straight roll this time.
Just straight roll this time.
I've got a couple inspirations left. I'm cashing another one.
Okay.
$17.
17 just barely misses. God damn it. As you fire, it looks like it's going to hold, and it fades. Now it's their turn to attack you. 15.
Shit.
So you take 14 damage.
I am at 1.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Holy crap. Okay, this is down to the wire. So, all right. You have how many successes?
3.
And you need 2 more, right?
Yes.
Your turn.
Hang on, I'm just checking one more thing here. All right. I'll bank in another inspiration. I've been saving them for most of this campaign. $19.
19. Shing! And it takes. You know you can use your inspiration to force disadvantage on their attacks too, right?
I'm gonna do that, and I
Okay.
think I've got 2 more inspiration after this.
Well, they rolled an 18 for their first roll, so it's a good thing you did. 6. So your turn.
Ah! Sorry, I fell on the floor. Hang on. I take that again. $19.
19. Okay. So with this third attack. And this one rings just a little bit more as you channel your phoenix energy into it. And you see the entire rock becomes chromatic instead of yellow. You see that the chroma starts leaking through the veins of mana through the cave. But they're still going to attack you.
I had no doubt about that.
16. So you're down.
Oh.
You want to do disadvantage?
Sure.
So, sure.
We'll give him disadvantage. That leaves me 1 inspiration left.
It's a 14.
Ugh.
Does that hit your armor class?
That does not.
So they miss. Your turn. You can attack against them now. You start feeling this energy surging through your body. You feel it pulsing. You feel like you're almost becoming one with the mana crystal. Just so you know, you can cast Guiding Bolt and Fireball right now, both with radiant damage.
You know what? For as long as I've been playing D&D, I've never gotten to cast Fireball before.
Okay. You're going to cast Fireball?
Yes, I am!
Okay! So they have to roll a dexterity saving throw versus your spell attack modifier, or your spell save. So what is your spell save? They rolled a 10.
Where? Spell save.
I'm guessing it doesn't hit.
14 is my spell save.
So describe how this looks for you.
So, sort of holding my hands about here in front of me starts as a single point of light that very quickly expands out to the size that I have my hands at. It is chromatic, it is rainbow in nature, but there's a little bit more red than other things. Push that forward and it keeps expanding as it goes forward.
You carve a whole swath of them, just dead. Do you want to roll your damage to see how much you do?
I would love to. What do I
That's
roll?
8d6.
8d6. Hang on, let me grab some extras here.
And since, if you want, you can upcast it. Up to your highest spell slot level.
Which is 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So that's how many?
So when you upcast it, you add, I'm looking right now, add 1d6 for each slot level above 3rd. So just one more d6. So you're 9d6.
96. Give me a second.
Not 96, but 9d6.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, it's still pretty respectable.
That is 34 damage.
34. So you carve a swath of them. The entire area is encompassed. Like your entire spell area had them in it. So you easily carve a whole big swath of them. And you see that the area that you fired that, the mana lines become chromatic as well, spreading still further. It's their turn. Natural 20.
It's my last inspiration. We'll spend it.
Okay.
Give him the disadvantage.
15.
My DC's 7.
So, they hit you and you go down.
Yeah. I'm sorry, not 7, 17. Jesus.
Oh,
What am I saying?
17.
Yeah.
I was like 7. Okay.
My brain flubbed.
Then we'll say that doesn't hit.
Okay.
So, your turn.
How many of them are around me right now, and how close are they?
There are basically your entire area is covered right now. They're swarming from the back now too. So you're very surrounded. By the way, you aren't eating your spell slots when you cast Fireball.
Would it be the same for what was the other one you said?
You can cast it at 4th level because you have 4th level spell slots, but you're not eating your spell slots when you cast it.
No, I got that, but you said there was another spell I got as well.
Oh, Guiding Bolt.
Guiding Bolt.
It does 1 target, and it can also give you advantage to hit them again.
Now, we're not dealing with 1 target. We are dealing with a whole mess of these things.
Okay.
Fireball.
Fireball. So saving throw. That is a 7.
Yeah, they don't make that.
Okay.
So
They're just
hang
so
on.
focused on attacking you, they've abandoned all self-preservation here.
All right. So this time. It's 32 this time.
Okay, so you carve another swath right next to the stone this time. Because all of the creatures in this cave are now converging on you, we're going to say that right now is when the rest of you get to the entrance. You hear explosions going off. And you see that as you look further in, there's like a shifting light that's not just yellow in nature, deeper in the cave. What are you guys doing?
Question. Like, do we still have to climb up?
No, you climbed up. You're at the entrance.
Okay. Alright. My disguised self, the shape-shifting, can I shape-shift in... my disguised self, my shape-shifting, can I just shape-shift into anything?
Not objects, but creatures, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant,
You can
yeah.
shift into other humanoids. So these creatures are undead.
Like, so would I be able to, like, to shape-shift in kind of like a giant bird?
You can look like a bird humanoid, but you can't, like, fly still. It's not an actual shapeshift, it's just you look like that. It's illusion.
Well, that's not fun. Alright.
It is fun, just isn't going to do what you want.
Oh, right,
It's like a glamour.
I don't know. I'm just gonna run towards the explosion.
Okay, you run. You have a pretty decent speed too, don't you?
Yeah, 35.
Okay. Masquerade, what are you doing?
Not letting Anu run into the massive dangerous thing by herself.
Okay. And Nim?
I'm actually pretty sure that my speed is higher than hers. 40.
Okay, yeah, you are keeping up easily. In fact, you can surpass if you want.
No, I'm good. I'm staying right next to you.
Okay. And Nim, what are you doing?
Since I move at the speed of smell, I'm going to kind of like hang out around the entrance and try to make sure that there's a clear path because so we can get Wisp out as fast as possible. But I want to keep everybody in my eyesight in case we need some encouragement and whatnot.
Okay, so you're keeping up from the back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm coming, but like it's going to be a minute, y'all. Like, I didn't put my running shoes on. Come on.
Conspicuously, as you three go through the cave, you notice there are no Umber spawn this far up. It's like they're all not even here right now. You see the signs that would signal or indicate that they have been here, but they're not here right now. And you hear these explosions continue. Wisp, it's their turn, and they have attacked you, and you're down. So you fail 2 death saving throws.
So, wait, catch me up here? Because I was on my feet a second ago.
Oh, wait, that's right. I didn't hit you, did I? Because you made
No.
a miss. Never mind, you're at
Yeah.
1. You're at 1. So I have to hit you again. Let's see.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I was like, wait.
It's a 17 hit.
17 meets.
Meets beats.
I'm out of inspiration. I can't give him disadvantage this time.
Okay, so you're down.
Yes, I'm down.
All right, you 3 are running. So I'm going to let you make athletics checks to have this distance. You have to make
Can I
3
acrobatics
successful athletics checks to get there. Huh?
Can I acrobatics instead?
You can.
All right.
I'll let you
So I got-
parkour. Do some parkour in the cave.
24.
I got
Okay.
a 23.
Okay. Nim?
But he used inspiration.
Huh?
We got a 6.
6. So Nim, you're struggling, and Masquerade is parkouring off the walls, like swinging around stalagmites and stalactites to try to turn corners effectively, and Anu is keeping pace with each move. And you're just bustling along as best you can, Nim. You're trying. You are really trying, and you are staying at your current speed.
That's fine. Tripping over my shoelaces, I imagine.
That means it is Wisp. Now, instead of auto hitting, I'm going to just have them roll straight, and they have to get better than a 10.
Okay.
You can't dodge.
Nope.
19.
That's definitely better than a 10.
That's 2 death saves.
Okay.
Masquerade,
So,
Anu, and Nim.
Are we there yet?
You have to make another athletics check. You got to make 3.
We're not gonna make it.
No.
Can I use
24
another,
again.
I got a 14.
Can I use another inspiration?
You can use an inspiration. 14 doesn't make it.
Getting winded.
The natural 1.
Nim, you slip and fall.
Splat.
They got a 2 for their attack roll
Okay.
this time. So you
Still
got
here.
round.
Are we going down a hill?
Yeah, there are hills in here.
Like, is it possible to slide my way down to boost some speed?
Sure. If you want to make acrobatics instead, go for it. And actually, you and Masquerade have to make... You have 2 to make anew. Masquerade is pulled ahead and has to make 1 more to get there.
Okay.
But when you get there, you're just there at that point.
Ugh, 13.
23.
23.
Ha!
Am I getting up? Am I?
You are getting up.
I'm gonna
Make them
try.
roll again.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You actually catch up to where Anu's at. It's wild, but you caught up somehow. You watch as Nim, it's actually funny, she is running and you stumble, falling off a ledge, catching yourself on your feet, like just behind Anu. And you skip like a whole section that Anu went through.
Perfect.
Masquerade, what did you get?
23.
23. Masquerade, you get there. You're at the top
Okay.
of the ledge. Overlooking, and you see there are swaths that are just carved away. You see that this once yellow monocrystal is now thrumming with prismatic energy. And it's spreading through the veins. And there are just swaths that are carved away of these creatures that are starting to fill.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump down next to where Wisp is and Hand of Healing.
Okay. You are only able to get there right now, so they get 1 more attack, so this is the defining moment. I'm gonna let you choose. Do you want me to use my Nerdarchy die, my pink die, my blue die, or my blood die?
Give me the blood die.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay. Blood die. Is this? This is the lens. That's the die. So, gonna see if this works. The moment of truth. 18.
Hey, Steven.
Huh?
Can I use my inspiration to give you disadvantage?
You can!
I do that.
Okay. That one's better than 19.
God damn it.
Sorry. If
Is
you wanna
it-
take a picture.
Is Nim close enough to give
I do a distraction.
You guys aren't quite there yet because you didn't make your last roll. Only Masquerade is there right now. So,
how many more inspiration did you have, Mask?
Masquerade. Oh, you go ahead.
I just had the one from the start of the session.
No, you had 2.
Did I?
I gave
That's right, you
one.
gave me one. Steven, can I pile another inspiration?
I'll say yes. Yes.
Okay, I do that.
This die hates you guys. It's a 17.
I tried.
Yeah.
You did.
Masquerade, you jump. You don't even care right now. You've got your hand of healing going in your hand. You reach, and as you see this zombie with a spear, it's armed and armored right now with forged armor that they've made. It takes this barbed spear and drives it into Wisp's chest. Blood smatters across your mask. Wisp, your vision goes dark. And then all of a sudden, whoom, it's white. Like searing white all around you. It's almost chromatic. And you feel this voice. It sounds like your voice, but on an echo. What do we have? Really? What do we have to live for?
We have friends. We have people who stayed. We have people who maybe not want to leave.
As you say that, you feel this ta-toom. Like, it's almost like you feel in your heart something is catching. It's like your soul doesn't want to leave. So, a memory flashes through your mind. You realize it's not impacted by your perception, but by another's. Anu, what is your favorite memory of Wisp?
I think having Wisp deal with the consequences of me throwing a snowball at Nim.
Okay. You see this flash through your mind of Nim being pelted with a snowball in the face. And you look and you see Anu there. And she smiles. Anu, make an Arcana or Religion check.
Nine.
9. Does anyone have inspiration?
I think I
Or is
have
it all
one from.
burned? Huh?
No, I have
Can I-
one. Oh, wait,
Can I
yeah.
give encouragement?
You can, in fact, because you see Anu, your mind is pulled to Wisp in a strange way. As is yours, Nim. How do you encourage Anu in this moment?
I am also kind of on the same wavelength, and I'm thinking about being hit in the face with that snowball, and it makes me smile, and I am thinking about how much I hope there's another opportunity for Anu to throw a snowball at me and blame it on Wisp. And that's how I'm like just that kind of feeling it in that moment. I just look at Anu and I say, throw it.
Okay. And Wisp, you feel that pull on you as you see that moment. Anu, you get to add a d4. Or no, you add, what is it? It's your charisma modifier. Which is 3.
Plus 3.
So that bumps it to a 12.
12, yeah.
Which is a success.
Yeah.
Mark 1 success, Wisp. I'll tell you what for in a minute.
Marked.
Now, your mind pulls to the faceless one. The one whose face you didn't know and you may still not know. Masquerade, what's your favorite moment in memory of Wisp?
I mean, honestly, like, I have a whole montage of teasing Wisp about being the chosen one to pick from. Just choose one of those.
So, you feel this teasing. You see it in your mind, Wisp, and it is weirdly, I don't know, maybe endearing, maybe something else. Masquerade, make an Arcana or Religion check.
Let me see. Do I have either of those? It's the same modifier. I'm gonna Arcana because, oh no, I'm 9 at 1.
Okay. Wisp, mark a failure.
Marked.
Nim, your mind continues to circle around Wisp. What is your favorite memory of Wisp?
So there's no one memory that really strikes me, but one thing that Nim always loved about Wisp was that Wisp was unapologetically themselves all the time and never had to hide who they were, which is something that Nim has been doing her whole life. And so she has always valued that in Wisp, and that's something that she wants to be able to learn more from Wisp about in the future. So she's just thinking about every performance, every time Wisp said something that was a little bit sassy, every fight, all that stuff.
Okay. And you see this, Wisp, going through your mind. Nim, roll an Arcana or Religion check.
Can I use an inspiration?
You can.
7.
7. Nope. However, it is your turn again, so technically you have your encouragement.
Oh.
I would let you do this on yourself if you want for this.
So would I roll again, or would I just add in the?
Just add it.
Okay.
That would
Come
bring
on.
it to.
Come on, Nim.
What would that
That'd
bring
make
it to?
10.
10, which is exactly what you need to pass one of these. So, Wisp, you do get another success.
Marked.
But now you can't encourage anyone else, Nim, until your turn comes again. And, Wisp, it's almost like you're being pulled into, like, back to your friends a little bit. It's almost like this other soul within you wants to know why it should bother. And Anu. What is something that you wish you could have said to Wisp and you didn't?
I wish that I asked Wisp to teach me to dance better.
Okay. Make an Arcana or Religion check.
22.
It's a success. Mark a success, Wisp.
Marked.
Wisp, you feel that. You feel the want to of the being as it remembers you never taught Anu how to dance. And that's 3 successes for you right now, right?
Yes, it is.
Your vision flashes and you see this luminous chromatic bird that's standing before you, towering at 20 feet plus over you. And it looks at you, and you just feel this kinship. I can save you. But it won't save me.
Are you saying that if I stay, you can't come back again? Or are you saying that if I stay, I'll be without you?
If you stay, you'll be without me. And I will revert again, like I do. Do you want to?
Yes.
Then we'll try. For them. And then it kind of meets your eyes. It was nice to be part of you. And I'll always carry part of you with part of me.
I will never admit this to Masquerade. But it was nice to have you with me.
I'm not going to force anything on you. But can I ask you something?
Yes.
Would you please take care of me when you're back?
Yes.
Thank you. Masquerade, you see this blood, just, it's gore. And the creatures are starting to swarm you at this point. They're about to attack you. Nim and Anu, you arrive at the top to see Masquerade being overwhelmed with this flood of enemies. And there's like a pulse, almost like a heartbeat, and this wave of chromatic energy through the ranks. And you hear like a screech like a hawk on an echo. But that's the only real display outside of a single chromatic feather falling from nowhere toward Wisp and landing on their chest. And as it lands, it goes into the wound, which closes. And with another whoom that literally obliterates these Umber spawn, much in the way Anu that you saw that other wave of energy obliterate the Azlari.
Azars.
Wisp sits up and gasps. Wisp, you lose your feat. You cannot cast Sacred Flame anymore. You cannot cast Fireball. You cannot cast Radiant Bolt. You are alive. And you see that pouring from Wisp's chest, almost like as the wound is still closing a little bit, there's about a baseball-sized egg. And it looks almost like a jewel with its chromatic luster, almost like an opal that's that big. And all of the Umber spawn are just gone here right now. The lines are vivid chromatic colors, shifting colors dancing on the rock face. And you guys are now alone in a quiet, though bloody and covered in black ichor mess of a cave. And that's where we're going to cut it.
Anu, I bet you thought you were in trouble, didn't ya?
Yeah, a little bit.
I bet you feel like you're not in trouble anymore, don't ya?
I'm confused. What happened?
Wisp wandered off by themselves into danger.
Oh, right. Is it okay? Wisp is trouble.
Wisp
It's
is in
Wisp.
trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Wisp is now out of trouble, and all of you seem to be out of trouble for the moment, and have some people
For
to
now.
rescue if you can find them.
Or now.
But, oh yes, only for now. But thank you everyone for watching who watched. This was a pleasure and a delight. Thank you to my players. You all are wonderful people. I love you, my friends. Thank you for coming back to join me and me to join you. It was just really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I needed this. So until next time, everybody, tell your story your way. Bye.